What if I told you that Call of Duty Warzone was 2 years old today? 2 years old. It's crazy, isn't it? Time flies by. And the footage that you're watching here, this was actually from day one of Warzone, March 10, 2020. And March 2020, I think really that's when the world shut down because of COVID. And a lot of countries had put themselves on lockdown already. Some hadn't, but in the UK at least, that's really when it all started kicking off. And Warzone was a blessing, I guess, if you were into games and you were stuck at home all day, or maybe you were working 9 to 5 at home, remote, getting used to all the Zoom calls and not being able to socialize as much anymore. Warzone really gave us that opportunity to have something to take our mind off things and to socialize online. That's what it was for a lot of people. It was a time where you could get together with friends that you'd normally go out to the pub with, or for a meal, the cinema, the theatre, go play around at golf or tennis, football, whatever it might be. Even a walk in a park for some countries. Warzone was there for you. And yeah, it's had its ups and downs, of course, but I think what stands out the most for me personally is the discovery and the excitement of a new battle royale game that almost every FPS fan was playing when it came out, for the first couple months at least. And it definitely checked all the boxes for me personally. It was free to play, it had cross-platform, so the player base was massive. It introduced loadouts in the battle royale genre, and when I think about other BR games now, it's difficult for me to imagine them without that. Other options are there, of course, and some people prefer looter style BR games like Apex and PUBG, for example. But Warzone really brought Call of Duty to the battle royale table with loadouts, letting players customize and choose, if they were to get enough money to buy the loadout or perhaps get a free one, exactly what kit they wanted to run. And the foundation of that was built in Modern Warfare 2019 with the gunsmith system, which of course is a very robust customization system for weapons and gives players the ability to tweak to their heart's content. And going back to the discovery factor that I just mentioned, Call of Duty had never done anything on this kind of scale before. We'd had Blackout with Black Ops 4, which in my opinion was a solid battle royale game, but this was a whole nother level. The size of the map, the amount of players, the complicated systems in place, and the fact that you could again choose your loadout meant that all sorts of playstyles, especially at the very beginning, were valid and effective tactics. And it brought a type of sandbox gameplay to Call of Duty that a lot of their fans just hadn't experienced before. Large maps, transport vehicles like jeeps, helicopters, trucks, parachuting, putting C4 on your mate's drone and then flying it into an enemy team before detonating and taking them out, sliding into a buy station and getting a clutch revive off before you're killed, but then you go to the gulag, you fight, you come back, you drop at the buy station again, get your gear back, pick up that precision airstrike, wipe out the team and get revenge on the guys that just eliminated you. Taking out a helicopter with an unguided RPG shot from 300 meters away, long-range sniper rifle kills with the HDR or the AX50. And do you remember that when Warzone came out, thermal scopes were actually meta? Because I think a lot of the players were just getting used to the distance and engagement ranges, and being able to see people from longer distances was tough if you weren't used to that style of game. The death chat too, the ability to hear for at least a couple of seconds the microphone of the person that you've just taken out. Such a simple thing, and most of the time you just hear someone be really frustrated that you've just killed them, but occasionally they might try and insult your mother, your father, your nan, perhaps if you're lucky, congratulate you, or just maniacally laugh at whatever just transpired. And it really felt like the Warzone community, the Call of Duty community, was in this together, especially for the first few months, because, like I said, most people were at home and a lot of people started recording their gameplay, whether that was with the built-in tools on their game consoles or on PC using Shadowplay, streaming it, whatever, and then they would share their clips on Twitter, on Reddit, on Facebook, and some cool things would pop up and you'd see them and go, oh, I can do that? I didn't realize that was possible, or there's a sick little flanking route there if I do some parkour, maybe I can use that in my next match or show my mates what that looks like. Or how about this M13 build, or how about this M4 that people seem to be using all the time, or this MP7. All of those tips and tricks that were shared and really just added to this awesome initial experience. And Warzone really nailed those seasonal updates and content, which kind of lived alongside Modern Warfare. As that got updates, so did Warzone with the stadium that opened up. You could go and fight inside it. It was this whole massive area, the bunkers, the mystery surrounding them, all the Easter eggs that were discovered and the alternate reality games that we took part in. And then the underground stations opening, a way to fast travel between certain locations on the map. And then of course you had all the holiday content, like the initial Halloween Zombies event was so good, incredible trailer. And then the gameplay itself, that limited time mode was just phenomenal. You weren't just a shambling zombie who could only melee. No, if you got turned into a zombie, you could jump, you could pounce, you could claw at people, you could use your EMP gas grenade ability, and it all resulted in a desperate scramble towards the end of the game. And maybe if you were lucky enough, you managed to get hold of a juggernaut suit and you could jump off buildings, ground pound, and just smash people as you landed, and then hose them all down with the minigun. Those events will always live with me as I think about my gaming experiences as I grow older. And there was a narrative that held it all together too, with Task Force 141 investigating this attack by Al-Assad and Zakhaev. The city's then engulfed in a cloud of toxic gas. The task force go in there with Captain Price, eventually locating Zakhaev and stopping him from launching a nuclear device. And of course, after that, when we slowly got the introduction running up to the Black Ops Cold War version of the map, Verdansk 84, there was the Vodanoy, which was a ship that could be seen off the coast, slowly getting closer and closer to the map before it crash landed, and the zombies were back, eventually resulting in the whole map being nuked, rewinding time and ending up in Verdansk 84. It wasn't all hunky-dory, of course, and there were plenty of problems and issues with the game. At the forefront, the cheating. This was a massive problem. For the first year especially in Warzone, cheaters just seemed to run rampant. And there were certain points, sometimes months at a time, where it felt like every match had a blatant cheater in it. Spin botting everyone, shooting people through walls, floors, ending up matches with 52 kills and then going on to do it again and again. There were lots of technical problems with the game too. Servers lagging on the drop, and you would land, try and loot something, you'd walk back and forward, the game crashing, especially on PC and Xbox. That massive phase of cheating and technical problems with the game will always have a place in the rich tapestry of Call of Duty Warzone, but more recently with the Ricochet efforts, I definitely feel like cheating is at least massively controlled now compared to what it used to be. And where we're at now with Warzone is Caldera. I think a lot of people didn't resonate with that map as much as they did with Verdansk. And I think that's why so many players just play Rebirth, because it's instant action, quick, you can redeploy dead easy. It's set in an urban style environment. And Caldera doesn't really have the same modern vibe, of course, that Verdansk had. Arguably the game's in a better balanced state than it's ever been though. They've removed a lot of the BS from the game after all. Dead silence, stopping power, loadouts are more expensive, UAVs are more expensive. So there's a lot more emphasis now than there's ever been on skill and team play. But I think that a lot of people just miss that modern warfare feeling Warzone. But luckily, that's going to be back very soon. Activision and Call of Duty have revealed Call of Duty Warzone 2. Infinity Ward will be the driving force in this, working on their Modern Warfare successor. Let's call it Modern Warfare 2, why not? And that will be out later this year. Whether the new Warzone version comes out later this year, we don't know. It might be March 2023, but I think when that releases, they've talked about it being innovative and disruptive, and I think that if it hits all the right notes, a lot of those players who've left Warzone will come back when that releases for more of that OG Warzone feel. I'm looking forward to it. And that's all for today, guys. Do let me know down in the comments below, what was your favorite thing about Warzone within the first year, with that first map, with the gameplay? What was it that drew you in the most to it and kept you playing? Cheers for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.